Hi everyone, welcome back to another video from ThisKindaGirl.com, the home of smart and sexy swinging advice. I will take you from nervous newbie to sophisticated swinger in no time. So if you haven't done already, and I strongly recommend that you do, subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, and please check me out on social media at ThisKindaGirl2020 and visit ThisKindaGirl.com for all the very best smart and sexy swinger advice. In today's video, I am going to be sharing with you my top 10 tips for playing with another couple. So in my previous video, I spoke about how to play with another swinger couple and like the transition from kind of talking about it to getting down to it. This video is all about my top 10 tips on how to play with another couple. So let's get straight down into it. Now, tip number 1. Oh, just as a heads up, I'm quite likely to lose count of the amount of tips I give you. This happens. So just go with it, okay? So tip number 1, it is best if you establish where it is acceptable for, now here I put men, but for women as well, for people, I'm going to say people, to orgasm before they orgasm. Some couples are okay with it to be on one another or inside one another, and some people, they don't like it. They like that to be like separate, away from their bodies. Even if you are using protection, some people still don't like it. So I know it's a weird conversation to have, but it's something that you really do need to talk about, because when you're in the heat of the moment, you need to make sure that you're all cool with where that is going to happen. Because it is still a risk. Now, the reason I talk about men and women here, although it is predominantly, men. So I'm going to share, this is a bit rude, explicit, whatever. A while ago, or a few years ago, I was at a party and I was having a great time with a couple. It wasn't that early on it was quite early on in the evening. We were having like soft swap play. I wasn't completely undressed. I think I still had on one, like, my dress. I was playing with this couple and the woman, and without any warning, the woman squirted like all over me and my partner and everything. And like, if you do that, like, that's fine, that's cool, I don't mind. But it was the fact that it just kind of like happened and it was all over, and she was loving it, and her partner was loving it, and for me it was too much, and also like a risk as well, and it really put me off playing with them, and I didn't enjoy it. And I think a lot of people were like, would say, well, why? That's like really horny, it's really hot. In some respects it is, but in that setting it wasn't right, and I wish she'd kind of said, but again, maybe it's my fault for not talking about it, maybe she didn't know she was going to do it, but the way they reacted, they kind of knew that that was going to happen. So yeah, that's why I write about for men and women, just as a heads up. Just talk about these things, because don't learn like how I did, don't learn the hard way. I think I was more annoyed that it was like all on my dress and stuff. It did annoy me quite a bit. Moving on, number 2, don't bite, scratch or bruise another couple. Now you may want to spank, I can't even read out what I've said because it's too naughty. You may want to spank people, but trust me, leaving marks of any sort is not cool. remember that those people have regular lives outside of swinging, and they may not appreciate that. Also, even if you're engaging in some BDSM style play, always talk about like what's cool, what's not. Some people are more heavy-handed than others. Sometimes you do have marks left on your skin, which is, you know, if you don't mind it, but you do need to talk about it before it happens. Also, don't do anything which could potentially break the surface of the skin, because we put an awful lot of effort into staying safe when we have sex. Obviously we use protection, so don't then break the surface of somebody's skin, because that again is it's really dangerous to do that. You don't want to draw blood. So number 3 is don't change the rules partway through. Stick to what you have discussed and established, even if somebody kind of, you know, tries to, even if you're feeling a certain way. Don't do that. Stick to your rules and boundaries, stick to their rules and boundaries, because it's really, you just don't do it. Like, you just shouldn't do it. And if somebody, they're pushing you, or they want you to do a little bit more, or engage in something you're not comfortable with, no, take a step back and just, you know, say no, re-establish what it is you want to enjoy, and move away from the situation. Now, if you are tip number 4, if you are hosting at home, then really take time to set the scene. Think candles, soft lighting, an essential oil burner can be quite nice to engage all the senses. Now, if you are hiring out a hotel room or something, perhaps you can't light candles, etc., but you could put up some little fairy lights, put those fake ones. Basically, just take the time out to make it nice and sensual, and that's what I enjoy. I just think it makes a better, more relaxed vibe for people, as opposed to, like, you know, lights being up. Oh, can you hear that banging? I hope that doesn't interfere too much with the video. I can't go around and tell them, I'm making videos about swinging advice, please can you stop your DIY? Anyway, take time out to set the scene, make it nice, make it sensual, make it relaxing, make it a place that people want to relax in. I think this is tip number 5, or is it tip number 6? Not sure. So while having sex with other people, you should never ask if you are better than their partner. This is an absolute no-no, and it is incredibly rude. So don't ever do this. This is really bad. I had to include this because people do that. Now, sometimes they could say it's part of like sexy talk, and if you're in a cuckold relationship, perhaps people might do that. If they do, and you don't mind it, but it's something you need to talk about, you know, because people can get very offended. And for me personally, if I heard that, somebody said that to me, somebody said the S, etc., etc., it would really make me angry, because it is very disrespectful. That's my opinion on it. So don't do it unless you have kind of spoken about it and it's part of the game and the build-up and the play. Now, after you have finished playing with your partner, take time to reconnect away from the situation. Take time to re-establish your relationship. Try not to like immediately cling to one another, because it kind of, like, for me, that's a bit of a red flag when I see couples do that. I'm like, are you guys okay? Are you sure you're okay with swinging? Like, I just, for me, that's what I do. Like, you know, we take time away and then we become emotionally intimate with one another, basically. So I've completely lost count of the top tips. I think this is 9. Oh no, sorry, my bad. My next top tip is don't bombard the other couple with texts, calls, etc., pictures the next day. 1 or 2 is friendly and conscientious. Don't be tempted to bombard them. You're not sure what they've got going on in their lives. They might have kids, they might be at work, they might have family commitments, you don't know. So just be, as I said in one of my previous videos, just be polite, friendly, just check in with them, but nothing more. Don't just keep harassing them or wanting to share lots of, I mean, some people do, they like to reminisce, but just bear in mind that other people have regular lives and jobs and stuff outside of swinger world. Another tip, I haven't included it here, but I'm going to share it with you, is don't take pictures and videos unless you have all discussed that this is okay. And if you have discussed it, then you need to talk about what type of videos and pictures, because if you just whip out a camera partway through and start filming or making pictures, this can be really off-putting. I do not want my identity revealed in pictures, videos, etc., because you don't know where they're going to share that. You don't know what's going to happen. So if you're cool with it, that's fine, but you do need to talk about it. If you if you want to film things, again, just make sure whatever you're doing, everyone is cool with, because it's not cool to suddenly whip out a camera and start taking pictures and videos. So another top tip is if you, I did include it. If you are playing with another couple and you're, getting down to it with your partner, make sure you have like a code word or a safe word in place. Now, this is usually associated with BDSM play, but if you're engaged in something and your partner's engaged in something, or there's like a few couples in the room and you're all, getting down to it and busy, just have a code word that your partner knows, that they can hear, that they can respond to, so they know if you say this word, then they instantly know stop proceedings, take some time out if you're not happy with it. Some people do this, some people associate it more with BDSM, as I said, but for me personally, I always like to make sure that he's okay, I'm okay, and we can stop what we're doing at any time. And if you want to also say this to other people and just let them know what it is, again, this is just makes good practice. I do hope you've enjoyed this video. I think that was top tip number 10. I told you I would lose count of the tips I shared with you, but that's not a bad thing. That just means you're probably getting a little bit more for your money. A little bit more content out of me, a little bit more value from my content. Do please join me next time for another smart, sexy swinger video, and I hope this video has enlightened you as to what it's like to play with another couple. If you want to find out a little bit more about me, then head over to ThisKindaGirl.com and click the About Me. If you want more videos, then click subscribe. Send me a thumbs up, send me a like, send me a comment. Check me out on Instagram at ThisKindaGirl 2020, where I share lots more pictures, videos, etc., etc. Thank you for watching, and you shall see me next time.